Hey everybody, today we're going to be playing a Doki Doki Literature Club mod called Doki Doki Blue Skies. Can you believe it? It's been about a year since we've actually started taking this channel seriously. I'm going to celebrate this accomplishment by playing the first game that I played on my channel officially, which was Doki Doki Literature Club. So today we're going to be playing this game. This is a mod made by Blue Dissidence Development, and I've heard really good things about it. I, for one, have not played it so far, and I can't wait to try it out for myself. Doki Doki Blue Skies is a Doki Doki Literature Club fan mod. This is not affiliated with Tim Salvato. This is designed to be played only after the official game has been completed and contains spoilers for the official game. You can check out my Let's Play of the game if you want to. You could play it for yourself. It's free on Steam. Game files for Doki Doki Literature Club are required to play this mod. Okay. By agreeing, I agree. Lastly, this mod contains, not safe for work content, including nudity, which can be turned off in the settings. Sorry guys, we're gonna turn that off. I don't want to. Oh, there's Blue's Dissonance Development. I don't want to hurt your brains. This game is an unofficial fan work. It's unaffiliated. Okay. Yay! Doki Doki Blue Skies. And before I forget, no, I don't want to skip Halloween. We'll censor the nudity. Okay, that should be official. Officially official. Full screen. There we go. That's much better. I heard the music's good on this game too. We're gonna go as our old boy Salty. We haven't been as salty in a long time. Uh-oh. The PTSD is already setting in. What's this? This shouldn't be possible. Is this Monica? Why am I here? How am I here? Did you bring me back? I don't see any other explanation. Why? We've already established that there's no happiness here. Why? Why can't I look at the script? Something's wrong. You didn't do anything, did you? Don't you understand? Are you trying to mess things up even more? How did you... Wait, I know. You've installed a mod, haven't you? That's why everything's been changed. Don't you think it's time to let us all go? What? You want everything to be like how it should have been? But... you really care about them, don't you? Oh, damn. This is like going to your ex's house. And she's like, oh, what are you doing here? She's like low-key like, oh my god, is he gonna... are we gonna get back together? It's like, nah, I'm here for your sister. Or, no, your dad called and he said you guys are having brisket tonight. I'm here for the brisket. I wish... never mind. If you really want to do it, I won't stop you. I've been fighting to take control of the game again. Oh shit, here comes the PTSD again. I've been fighting to take control of this game again, but if you want to play through the mod then, well, I'll succumb to the mod's control. So, do you want me to allow the mod's activation? What happens if you say no? I'm curious. Oh. Yes. I knew it. Salty. Or whatever your name actually is. Well, last time you told me my name was User. I truly hope that you can find happiness with your choice. Thank you, Monica. I think I will. I lay in bed, motionless, and staring up at the blank white ceiling. Last night was dreadful. The sound of thunder kept me up for hours. But today's another day. I guess let's just hope that it's at least a little bit better. With another sigh, I begrudgingly drag myself out of bed and groggingly begin the monotony of my daily routine. We're already back to the whole bullshit with me not being able to speak. Yay! This is just like old times. Happy 1-year anniversary. Make my way to the kitchen. I haphazardly rummage through the cupboards, looking for something to eat. That sounds like me. Unfortunately, there's no tasty homemade breakfast awaiting me. Ever since my parents' divorce, I've been living off of whatever I find in the kitchen. I live with my mom, but she's always taking business trips abroad. For the most part, it's pretty much just me at home. Classic anime protagonist. It's lonely, but I manage. Although I do miss the smell of bacon and eggs in the morning. Breakfast used to be a family thing. Dad would knead the newspaper at the kitchen table while Mom would stand up at the stove and fry up her famous sunny-side-up eggs. But all that feeling is like a long-forgotten memory. Well, at least breakfast is sort of a calorie mate. That's a trademark. You couldn't finish the sentence. I wonder what those taste like. I want to try one of those. I want to try a calorie mate. Not exactly the best start to the day, but it'll do. I do my own shopping since Mom's never home, but I usually stick to buying my bare necessities. The ease of using pre-made stuff has pretty much sapped me out of the urge to cook my meals for myself. You'll always be alone. You'll never get a woman that way. And with my food quickly finished, I head for the door. At the very least, the weather looks much better than yesterday's. Clear skies beat thunderstorms any day of the week. Music! I'm still lost in my thoughts, though. I noticed a familiar face. It's Sayori. We haven't seen her since... Oh, God. Oh, God, no. We have quite a history together. As children, we were basically inseparable. Always exploring, getting up to mischief, driving our parents wild. Typical things that young children do, really. As time went on, especially in recent years, we started slowly drifting apart. In fact, I haven't properly spoken to her in quite a long time. So is this... What about the literature club? Did it not happen? It's a real shame, after all. We've shared a lot of fond memories with each other. This sounds like the opening of DDLC original, but it's worded differently. I'm surprised to see her up so early, though. A couple of times I've glanced at the classroom window only to see her hurriedly walking along to school, so he doesn't know she's depressed. I wonder if that's still a thing. We used to walk to school together, and although she was sometimes a little late to meet me, I never really minded. I should have put that was a spoiler, but everybody knows Sayori's, got problems. As we continued to drift apart, however, her lack of punctuality became more frequent. I just decided it'd be better if we walked to school alone. Which meant that although I did get to school on time more often, it was quite lonely. Knowing her, she probably just got more and more lazy with time. Her wanting to off herself every 5 seconds. After all, her dedication to sleep in seems to be unwavering. Ah well, still, I've always enjoyed talking to her. Hey Sayori, I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? What was her voice? I haven't done their voices in a year. She looked a little surprised at my appearance and questioned. I suppose I can't blame her. Oh hey Salty, I wasn't expecting to see you. That makes two of us. You're up early today. She laughed softly, a misplaced looking frown on her face. I've been alright though. Not a whole lot has changed recently, Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Life has been pretty routine these days. School kinda meh, although I guess it could be worse. She nods as we both resume the walk to school. Although I can talk to her just fine, there's still an awkward air between us. I guess that's a given, seeing as there's only our first proper conversation together in a long time. As we carry on making idle small talk, a sudden thought hits me. Anyway, they might come across a bit out of the blue, but seeing you're here has given me an idea. Oh? Well, it's been a while since we walked to school together. How about we start doing that again? Would you really want to do that? I'm not very fun to talk to and I'm always late. I frown. It's really strange to hear Sayori say this, given I've always known her to have a bubbly, cheerful personality. Sayori, that's definitely not true. Well, that bit about always... the bit about always being late is true. I always loved hanging out with you. I thought we'd have a lot of fun again. Besides, I've missed you, and I've ever helped you wake up on time. I'll even help you wake up on time if you need me to. Aw, she's blushing. Was that a bit too forward? I don't know. I've been in this sort of situation before. I mean, we are childhood friends after all, right? But that's how it starts. You gotta be a friend, and then you become more than a friend. Really? Yeah, really. I missed you too, Salty. Yeah, let's do it then. From now on, we'll walk to school together, okay? Okay. And there it is, the classic Sayori smile I grew up loving. I'm sure there's no other personalities I should know about. All the memories I have of us together as children feature that smile. No matter where we ventured, parks, playgrounds, forests, that smile would follow. That innocent childlike sense of adventure we used to have, it's painfully clear that that's long gone. But maybe we can still smile together anyway. So, what you been up to lately? You know, the usual. You mean games, anime, and manga, right? Yeah, it pretty much goes without saying. Oh, Salty, you haven't changed. Are you sure that you think I need some change? Huh. Are you saying that you think I need some change? No one's perfect. There's always room for improvement. Especially in your case. Oh, especially in your case, I'm guessing that you're still a part of the Go Home Club. Hey, that cuts a little deep. What do you want me to do? Join the soccer club and trip over everyone? Oh my god, it's happening again. Oh god, it's gonna happen again. Run, Salty, run. Well, I think a little exercise is good for everyone. I'm very offended if you're trying to call me fat right now. Well, you don't have to join a sport club if you don't want to. Here it comes. Oh god. Yeah, I was actually thinking of checking out the anime club. Okay, we dodged this so far. Wow, how'd you guess? It does suit my hobbies though, so... Salty, you should try branching out a bit more. Okay, Miss Club Expert, if you're gonna criticize on my club choices, what would you suggest? Oh my god. Well, it just so happens that there's this club that I'm in. Oh really? Yeah, I'm actually the vice president. Wow, I did not expect that. I did. Dang, so you get to take part in all the executive decisions, huh? Kind of. Sounds difficult. The club kinda only has 4 members at the moment, but it's really fun. We're actually looking for new members right now. Ah, so that's why she's brought it up. Only 4 members? Sounds like you guys are just starting out then. What club is it anyway? It's the school's very own literature club. I unintentionally let out a sigh. Sorry, guys. Her face drops. I don't think that was quite the reaction she was hoping for. In my defense, literature has never quite captured my interest. Unless you count manga as a literature, that is. Manga. It's manga. Pronounced manga. I knew it. You don't want to join. I understand though. Not many people like reading. Hey, who said I didn't like to read? I love reading, if you count manga. I'm under the last word more to myself than to Sayori. On the plus side, Sayori laughs at my sheepishness. You sound like someone I know from the literature club. She talks about manga all the time. Oh really? I'm actually interested in your club though. Sayori smiles, seemingly content that I'm showing initiative. If I'm looking for a club to join, I guess the literature club is as good a place as any to start. Oh my god, my poor sweet Salty. My sweet summer child. That's great! You should come by sometime. Bring a rope. And by sometimes, you're hoping for today, aren't you? The sooner the better. Alright, I'll have a look after school today. Yay! Thanks, Salty. Although we should probably hurry up. Don't want to be late now, do we? Yeah, you're right. Hey, there's a new entrance. That's really cool. And it's got do all Japanese high schools have clocks? Mine didn't. Mine had a naked man in front of its school, actually. And a lot of people used to put condoms. I don't know if they were used or not. They used to put it in his butthole. And I think once they shoved a dildo up his butt. People got in trouble for that. Within a few minutes, we arrived at the school entrance amidst a crowd of chattering students. We wave goodbye as we head off to our separate classes. I have Sakurai in the morning, so I'm fairly confident that the next hour or so won't be too bad. Sakurai is such a classic anime name. Who's Sakurai, you might ask? Only one of the coolest, most down-to-earth teachers we have in the whole school. Being on the young side himself, we have another guy character? Salty might have some competition if these girls like their tall teacher type. The experience of high school is much fresher in his mind than some of the other teachers, especially the older ones. It gives me a smile. Uh-oh. This might have another what do they call? Yaoi? A yaoi thing going on? He gives me a smile as I open the door. Morning, Salty. How are we doing today? Not bad, sir. Same old, same old. How about you? Well, we're finally starting our module on 12th century history. Sorry, I was bored. So needless to say, I'm excited. Oh yeah, First World War, Nazism, Second World War stuff. You bet. I've waited all year for this to start. Oh man, you guys are in for a real treat. That Hitler, oh my god. This shit he did. Besides something else I really admire about him. He's so euthanistic about his subjects, and that euthanism really makes learning about history that much more enjoyable. It was almost like he was there. Combed with the fact that he's fairly relaxed, and especially when it comes to homework, you can really see why he's popular. Although he does have a strict side, of course, the side of him comes to light every now and again, so he isn't a pushover. Especially when a Jew comes in! Sorry. By any large, he earned the respect of his students by striking the balance just right. I just wish that all my teachers were as friendly and made efforts to know their students better. Ah, well. I take a seat as one of my classmates. Emmy? Emmy smiles and waves. Bouncy and energetic. There we have another female character. I don't have any female voices! Bouncy and energetic, she has a reputation for her skills on the track field. Even when she isn't running, she's pretty much a ball of energy. Heya! We have one of those odd friendships where we get along well in class, but don't really see each other outside of school. How you doing, Emmy? Training was really fun today, Salty. Oh? She always on the hunt for new recruits to join the track team, and she has a habit of dropping some not-so-subtle hints. Yeah, we've always looked for new people. I know you aren't part of the club, so you should totally join us. Save me, Emmy, save me. Oh, I'm part of the literature club. It's funny you mentioned that I'm not part of any clubs, actually. I think we're going to check out the literature club after school. Haha, I didn't really think you were the poetic type. But if you ever get bored of writing poems, you know where to find me. How many times do I have to tell you that? Should I give him a German accent? Like, what does a German accent even sound like? I can't even do it. Alright guys, let's make a start. It's almost criminal that I've had to wait so long to teach my favorite century. Why is that your favorite century, sir? Well, that's the school's lessons over. As I linger behind in the classroom to gather up all my things, I hear the door open. It's Sayori. Hi again, Salty. Wait. That was her voice, originally. Hi again, Salty. Hey, the literature club's meeting today, right? Yeah, it is. I was just heading there now. Do you want to come along? You betcha. Sayori seems to perk up, looking excited that I still want to come along to the club. Look at you, finally doing some extracurriculars. I mean, if you're the vice president, it can't be all that bad, right? She giggles, making me smile. Oh god, Salty. You're just digging that grave, aren't you? Each individual club member makes it special. Everyone works hard to have fun together. Well, let's not keep them waiting. It'd be rude to show up late. I want to make a good first impression after all. I guess you're right. Come on, it's right this way and up the stairs at the end. I follow Sayori down to the hallway. She seems excited, and it's nice to know that I'm making her day at least a little bit better. The stairs lead up to the section of the school that I recognize as the third year's wing. Sayori leads me to the classroom and knocks on the door. Trust me, you're gonna love it. She's definitely euthanistic about this club, that's for sure. After a seemingly long wait, the door finally slides open. A small pink-haired girl peeks out. Sayori! She peeks out further. Hey Natsuki! Guess what? I found someone who wants to join our club. The girl who apparently called Attitudes pronounced Natsuki. But I like to call her Natsuki, okay? I know. Slowly turns and glares to me and narrows her eyes. She opens the door fully, and behind her I see another girl sitting at the desk, her face buried in a book. Oh, hey, wait, Sayori! Sayori practically punches Natsuki out of the way. She seems excited to introduce me to the rest of the club members. You brought a boy, didn't you? Hey guys, I wanted to introduce you to our newest member, Salty. Aye, Sayori, hold up. It's a bit quick to call me the new member, isn't it? I then noticed the third girl picking up from behind a bookshelf in the corner of the class. Oh god, Monica. Monica is the most, oh god, I can't talk now because I'm too scared. Monica is one of the most popular girls of the high school. just making sure. Just making sure there wasn't any kind of craziness going on. Monica is one of the most popular girls of the high school. Everyone seems to flock to her because she's smart, beautiful, athletic, you name it. She's got it. Unfortunately, this also means she's completely out of my league. She looks at me first with a stern look, but then quickly lightens up. Puts down the book she's holding and rushes over. Ah, Salty, what a nice surprise. You got a turn. Originally, you were always just like staring at you. You had to look at her, but now she's actually got a side portfolio. I like it. Ah, Salty, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. The girl who has her face buried in the book suddenly jolts up and looks right at me. She quickly snaps her butt shut and timidly moves to join in the conversation.
Oh, a new member. My name's Yuri.
I remember her voice. Oh, you can't forget that one. Yeah. Holy crap, it seems like I'm somehow lucked out.
Oh my gosh. She has the voice of an angel.
Not only is Monica in the club, but also a bunch of these other cute girls. Am I glad I decided to come here instead of the anime club? But enough gawking. Salty stopped staring and start talking. It's nice to meet you, Yuri. Like Sayori said, I'm Salty. I smiled at her and then turned to Monica. So it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? We have a history. That's right. It's great to see you again, Salty. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. It's kind of strange to say, but having her smile at me so gently makes me feel a bit starstruck. This power of a school idol. You too, Monica. So you guys run a club with just the four of you then, huh? Sayori told me about how you were looking for a new member. Ah, well, I've actually been trying to push for more members for a while, but we haven't had any luck recently. Ah, Sayori, did you? My words dry up in my mouth as Natsuki shoots me with a piercing glare. She looks pissed at me, but for some reason I don't know. I haven't really had the chance to do much besides walk in and say hello. Sayori, you brought a boy? Yep, he told me that he wanted to join this club. Not sure if it's just Sayori being an airhead again, but I do recall promising that I'd join. Great. Natsuki glowers at us, folding her arms with an irritated huff. I don't really get why though. I sound like a robot. Why though? Sorry about Natsuki. That's just how she is. She's a little standoffish to new members. Oh, it's nothing. I don't mind. Hey, I'm right here, you know. Sorry, I got to try to make a good impression though. Come on, Natsuki. We need new members. If you don't feel like being nice to Salty, can you at least be nice for me, please? You don't have to make such a big deal of it. Fine. If you're gonna beg, I guess I have no choice. Hooray! Thanks, Natsuki. Looks like I know who the tsundere of the group is. They're all yanderes, Salty. They're all yanderes. It's almost comical, the extent of which Natsuki fits that trope. Or maybe my views of the world is just clouded by anime influence, though. Me too. Anyway, let's get this conversation back on track, eh? How did you come to learn about the literature club, Salty? I have to admit, I'm a bit curious about that myself. Oh, wait, that was her. Oh, good. Sayori and I were just walking to school when she mentioned the club to me. Since I was sort of looking for a club to join, I figured that I would check you guys out. Anyway, Sayori was really enthusiastic about the literature club, so Monica beams at Sayori when she hears this. Guess Sayori has done a good job at advertising for the club.
I see. Well, I think this is a great place to start after all. Books can be very enticing.
Yeah, it's super fun. I think the club is the only place where I been feeling comfortable lately. Sayori's face falls for a moment, but she quickly picks herself back up. You dropped a hint. You dropped a hint. Oh god. It's somewhere I could just sit and read while hanging out with my friends. I think they summed up the club pretty well after all. I started it to bring together like-minded people who love literature. I'm really happy with how it turned out so far. It's very cozy. But enough introductions. Why don't you come in and take a seat, Salty? Did you bring anything to read? I got some napkins. That's all I got. As she asked that, I realized I'm not much of a reader, much less someone who loves literature. To be honest, I haven't thought this through very well. Would joining a club that focuses on reading really be the best thing for me? No, I don't really have any books on me at the moment. I just haven't seen any good titles recently. I lie through my teeth, hoping Monica doesn't see through my facade. I obviously don't read much, but if they believe that I do, hopefully it'll help me relate to these girls. Ah, well, we have plenty of books here. If you want to check out what we have, I'm sure you'll find something that matches your taste. Is that so? Then I guess I'll head over there. Maybe something might catch my eye. I start to sweat nervously as I walk awkwardly over to the bookshelf. There looks to be a good variety of books available, ranging in genre from horror and fantasy all the way down to non-fiction. Sheepishly, I turn towards... Oop! I already got our first choice and I didn't save. Okay, this is like where we need to make a choice. Do we want to go through the Yuri route or the Natsuki route? I mean, I don't want to go to prison. I could flip a coin or something. We got Yuri. Okay. Hey, could you help me pick out a book you think I'd like?
Oh, I'd be happy to. If the prospect isn't too off-putting, I will know of a wonderful horror novel. To be honest, horror has never particularly appealed to me. Still...
Oh, I did it again. To be honest, horror never particularly appealed to me. Still, I want to make an effort here. I have an open mind. What book were you thinking of? Blushing, Yuri bends down and removes a thick book from the bookcase. It has a large piercing eye on the cover. It's the Portrait of Markov, isn't it? It almost feels like it's staring into my soul.
One of my personal favorites. Portrait of Markov. I know it looks intimidating, but... Sorry.
She shakes her head and she puts the book back. But I stop her. Don't worry about it. I'd love to check it out. What's it about? A coy smile plays across her face as though she was pleasantly surprised by my enthusiasm.
Let's see. The protagonist is a young high school student who moves in with his sister. But shortly after, sinister things start happening.
Oh, it's an anime.
The two are captured by an ominous cult that practices nightmarish experiments on their prisoners.
Yep.
Throughout the story, she's forced to make choices no one her age should have to make. In the process, her ability to trust others is warped. Many of the relationships are broken as a result.
Pretty dark, but hey, I've been lying if I say I didn't sound interesting. Well, it definitely sounds pretty engaging. I think I'll read this book then. Natsuki mumbles something, but she's just barely out of earshot.
Really? You don't have to do if you don't want to.
I do. While it might not be what I usually pick, your description of the plot intrigues me. Although I have to ask, what makes this your favorite book?
If I had to put it into words, I suppose I'm a bigger believer in literature's ability to challenge the psyche. So to have such an immersive tale questioning your ideals and foundation can be extremely exhilarating. Like a knife going through your chest, exhilarating. She smiles and twirls a long lavender strand of hair around her finger. Words are immersively powerful. They can paint stunning portraits, invoke emotions, or even whisk oneself away to an entirely new dimension. As she continues to speak, she transforms from a timid girl I just met into a proud and confident expert. I guess the impression that she feels more at home with books rather than other people. Isn't that exhilarating, Salty? We have such a vast vocabulary at our disposal, with such a powerful resource at our fingertips. We could do anything. I clear my throat, hoping that I put her off with my evident inexperience. Yeah, when you put it that way, I can understand how powerful the written word could be. I scratch the back of my head nervously, for she finds that to be a satisfactory answer. One might look at the words the author chose. We have so many synonyms, so what compelled the author to shape their story the way they did? The feeling I got when I finally finished a truly compelling novel, it leaves me totally breathtaking. I wish I had something as coherent to respond with. Might as well be from a different planet. I think I know what you mean. She closes her eyes, putting her head close to her chest. Then, as though remembering she's not alone, she suddenly blinks and immediately appears, more bashful. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I must have gotten lost in my train of thought. She fidgets with a thin clip in her hair, sliding it up and down. Hey, don't worry about it. It's nice to see you talk about something you obviously enjoy. Who's to say otherwise? Yuri glances over to Natsuki, who simply raises her eyebrow in reply. Does Natsuki not like that kind of stories? She sighs and turns to look out the window. That's putting it lightly. We have our differences in what we enjoy, literature-wise. She frowns slightly as though pained by Natsuki's apparent disapproval. Well, I think everyone's different tastes are what make literature interesting, especially when you talk about it with other people. I can't help but grin. I feel like that was actually pretty clever. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. I reach over and take Portrait of Markov from her, tuck it under my arms. Well, I'll give this a bit of a read and see how far I can get tonight. I appreciate you giving it a chance, even though it's not something you're used to. I'll be looking forward to hearing your opinion. I must warn you though, once you get past the first few chapters, you might have trouble putting it down. And perhaps tomorrow, I mean, if you want to, we could discuss it. You look quite nervous as she just suggests that. Guess this is how her personality is. Oh, Salty, you're so dense. You're so dense. Yeah, we can do that tomorrow. Thanks for the recommendation, Yuri. I do need to branch out and try new things. This is a good place to start. I'm grateful that I got to read it on my own, at least for now. I honestly have no idea if I'll ever like it. And if we were reading it with her and decide I didn't, that might make things a little awkward. With a book in hand, I make my way to a desk. The others are all now preoccupied, so they seem like a convenient time to start the story. I'm going to be reading it. It's definitely an unusual book. Horror was never really my thing, but I have to admit, the main idea is intriguing, and the main characters are well written. The more I read, the more I can see why it appeals to Yuri. All that talk about appreciating sophisticated language. While it's not exactly my kind of story, to the credit, the author does a good job building up to a rather bleak situation. I've never been particularly imaginative, but even I could picture the scenes in my head. If I weren't so tired, I could probably engage with it more. Over time, I can't help but grow a little bored, though. I guess I've read enough to be able to discuss it with Yuri tomorrow, so I decided to call it there. Looking up, I spot Sayori reading something. Might as well see what she's up to. I probably read that for long enough. Standing up with a stretch, I make my way over and take a seat next to her. Hey, how's it going, Sayori? What are you reading? As I sit down, I notice that she looks quite content. Nothing much. Just reading some stuff for a school project. What about you? You seem really into that book? Oh yeah, it was a good read. At least as far as I could tell right now. I can't help but wish I had sounded a little bit more enthusiastic. That's great! So how are you liking the club? You're not bored, are you? I never got one of Natsuki's cupcakes. She looks a little worried. Her cheerful persona faltered for a moment. Where did that question come from? It's a bit too early to tell how I really feel about the club. Of course not, Sayori. Sure, I haven't been here for long, but I've enjoyed meeting everyone. They've opened my eyes to new stuff. I've never been huge on readings, but I'm confident the Literature Club could change that. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're involved. You don't want to join a club that you have no interest in, right? I know what you mean. I think reading will grow on me in time. Actually, do you mind if I sit with you and read? She looks at me clearly surprised. I don't think she was expecting me to sit next to her, but nonetheless she seems happy. Her smile is infectious, lifting my own spirits too. That'd be great, Salty! We read for a while, which turns into talking fairly quickly. Our conversation becomes a continuation of our chat from the walk to school. It's nice to just sit and talk with my childhood friend who I've guessed reconnecting would be so easy. I haven't felt this content for as long as I can remember. The good mood reflects on her as well, given that she seems very uplifted and bubbly. I don't know what it's about her that makes me so at ease. You like her, Salty? Wow, we've been talking for a bit, haven't we? Man, I didn't even realize the time. I guess we've been talking for a while. I can see why you came to the Literature Club so much. There really is a welcome at ease vibe here. It must be a nice change of pace after how hectic this school day can be. I was hoping you'd say that, Salty. It really is, and I'm grateful for the others as well. They really helped me make the club the way it is. I can't help but notice that Natsuki and Yuri seem to be very different, though. Do they argue much? She looks a little downcast at my question. Sometimes, yes, but thankfully it isn't often. I could sense that isn't a topic she likes discussing. Well, that's only normal, I guess. Monika seems like a great president, though. She must be very proud of this club. You have no idea. Just then, Monika gets up from the desk she was sitting at and faces the classroom confidently. Speak of the devil. Okay, everyone. I hope we all had a good time so far. There's a good moment of silence during which everyone seems to be glancing at me. Do they want me to respond? I'm honestly having a great time, thanks for the warm welcome, everyone. Well, it's great to hear that. And as it turns out, Natsuki baked some cupcakes! Yay! For the club, too. Yeah, I know. I was just about to announce it, so let's get them. Let's go sit over there, Salty. Looks like there's room at this other desk for all of us. I duly follow Sayori over to where the rest of the girls have pulled a couple of desks together to form a table. I love how I just now realized that there's a new display. How about I make some tea as well? Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. I keep going back and forth between Natsuki and Natsuki. Now that I know that that's how you originally pronounce it. Still feeling a bit awkward, I opt to take a seat next to Sayori. If the conversation starts to die out, I can always rely on her to save me. Meanwhile, Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Oh, whoa. It actually has you could actually see the damn cupcake now. Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes, decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, a little piece of chocolate we use to make the ears. So cute! I had no idea you were good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monika and I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full. Oh, it's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full, and I've already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. If she made it all by herself, that's seriously impressive. It practically tastes professionally done to me. But then again, it's not like I have the most discerning taste palette. These cupcakes are amazing. Thank you, Natsuki. Yeah, you better thank me, because this took hard work to do. Yeah, it really seems like it. Did you make it by yourself, or did your parents help you? What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying I couldn't have done it myself? No, it just seems that it's professionally made, so I was wondering if an actual baker helped you. I wish my dad was a baker, but just because I don't bake for money, it doesn't mean that I can't be good. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I just suck at cooking myself. So, she could be our wife, our wife that cooks, because Salty in this universe can't cook. She's a potential. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I just suck at cooking myself. So I'm wowed by good cooking. It's a real good... You could be my wife, my waifu. I guess I should count myself lucky that I got to try your cupcakes today, eh? It's not every day that I have the time to bake, so be thankful. The expression on Natsuki's face practically says, bow down before me, peasant! Are you expecting Salty to prostrate himself before you? Looks like Monika had the same thought. Ugh! You can't blame Natsuki for bragging a little, though. I would too if I made these. Yeah, exactly! Natsuki smiles gratefully at Sayori's save. Meanwhile, Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before sitting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set next classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? Well, I guess. Heh, don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not! Embarrassed, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. Don't worry about it. I believe you. Tea and reading might not be a common pastime for me, but I can at least appreciate it. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. What are you doing, you little bitch? You know you belong to me. I'm happy that you look like you're enjoying yourself, Salty. Oh, don't you do it again. As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Oh, that reminds me. I've actually been meaning to ask you something, Monica. When are you gonna kill me? How come you decided to start your own club? You should probably be a board member of any other major clubs. Weren't you leader of the debate club last year? Oh, well, you know. To be honest, they didn't like me killing them all. I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling the dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in this club yet. But I guess it must be hard to start a new club, since everyone's probably settled into their own activities already. You could put it that way. It can be hard to get people invested in things that are brand new, especially when sometimes that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, like a YouTube channel. But it makes school events like the Culture Festival that much more important. Speaking of school events, I don't think I saw your club at the club fair at the beginning of the year. Ah, that's because I hadn't started it yet. Oh, guess that explains why you don't have many members yet. Yeah, we missed that opportunity to draw in first years who hadn't found clubs yet. Yeah, that's when you need to really get them in. It's a lot harder to advertise on a person-by-person basis. And like you said, a lot of people already have other extracurriculars by now. But if it's so, I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have really worked hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted by the idea of a new club member joining. Though I still don't really know if I could keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. By the way, I know that everyone here likes reading, but do you guys write as well? Actually, we haven't really done any writing together, funnily enough. Do you guys just read and discuss books then? You could say that. Sounds more like a normal blood club than a literature club. To be honest, I was kind of expecting you all to do stuff like write poetry together. The word poetry, Natsuki jolts back a bit. Do you not like poetry, Natsuki? What? I don't really have an opinion on it, I guess. Oh, really? Oh god, I started it again. With a sly smile, Monica gets up rummaging through her book bag and returns with a loose notebook page in her hand. I happen to have a poem called... Hey, where'd you get that? Springs up and sketches the paper out of Monica's grasp. Don't worry, I didn't steal it from your bag or anything. You dropped it on the way over here. I was going to return it, but I couldn't help tease you a bit before I did that. Well, I'd appreciate if you kept your nosy nose out of my private work. Duly noted. Sorry, I just couldn't help glancing over your poem when I picked it up. Your writing style is really cute, Natsuki. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hand on her shoulder. I'm not cute. Hey, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So, do you write your own poems? That music has gotten loud. So, do you write your own poems, Natsuki? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I just think that's pretty neat. Why don't you share them with the club sometimes? Not if everyone's just gonna call them cute. Like Sayori said, there's nothing wrong with being cute, you know. You wouldn't get it. There's nothing worse than trying to get honest feedback from someone who just having them say it's cute. Scorn drips from the word cute. I guess I don't think of it that way. Yeah, no one does. It's super annoying, you know. I actually believe I understand how Natsuki feels. Natsuki looks surprised as Yuri's sudden interjection. Sharing the level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities like an artery, and show even the deepest reaches of your heart.
And that's why she cut her heart out in the first one.
And when that's all dismissed with a single remark, well, suffice to say, it can greatly discourage you from putting your work out there again.
Sounds like both you and Natsuki have writing experience in common, Yuri.
Maybe. Although I don't mean to speak for Natsuki.
Jeez, it's fine. I pretty much agree with what you said. Brief moment of silence follows upon us as we all reflect on this conversation. This just gave me an idea, everyone. A really horrible idea that involves everyone dying. We all look quizzically at Monica, who smiles knowingly back at us. If we have poems who are looking for legitimate criticism of the poems, how about we do that here? I'm sure we can all trust each other to be respectful. I think it'd be a fun activity for us. I don't know if I feel comfortable sharing my old poetry. I didn't write it to be read by the public, so... Yes, same here. That's fine, we can all just go home and write new poems to bring tomorrow. I was going to suggest it anyway, since I don't think the rest of us have poetry ready to share yet. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I think learning about poetry would be really fun. And now that we have a new member, I think it would help us to all get a little bit more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Salty? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. The Literature Club has been very welcoming so far, at least after the initial introductions were made. And although I have to start writing poems, it seems like a fair price to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. I had my doubts at first, but given how friendly and welcoming these girls are, I don't really see any reason why I shouldn't join the club. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to becoming better friends with you all. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Why did the music suddenly... Okay. Thank you, Monica. Yes, I'll be so happy you joined... Yes! I'm so happy you joined us. Sori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey. And thanks for playing along. She whispered the last remark in my ear, so she was aware that I never agreed to join in the beginning. That sneaky girl. That clever girl. Although Sayori is the most enthusiastic of all, these girls' eyes are lit up in happiness. I would have been super pissed if you just left after eating my cupcakes.
I'm very glad that you're staying as well.
Okay, everyone. I think that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Don't forget tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring the next meeting so we can hold discussions. Monica looks over at me once more. Salty, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress Monica with my mediocre reading and writing skills? Something tells me no. Geez, I can already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Oh well, it's not like Monica's going to be as harsh as an actual literature teacher though, right? Meanwhile, the others continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Sayori, since we're already here, you want to walk home together? Given that she introduces me to all the amazing people, it's the least I could do for her. Sure, let's head home. With that, the two of us wave goodbye to the others and make our way home. Yay! On the way back, we discuss the events of the day, focusing particularly on each club member. As we do so, my mind wanders between them all. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monica. I'm excited to hang out with everyone from now on. Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of them. Alright. I just need to make the most of my circumstances. I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess they're starting with writing a poem tonight. We're gonna have this. Oh, dude! That's new. Aw, that's cute. Do I not write the poem this time? Oh, it's nighttime. Everybody's gonna go bed. Oh, I hear it. Yep. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. And we're gonna save. Okay. Oh my god, this music. It's so nostalgic and yet it is like painful at the same time. Like I know this mod has surprises, it's not the same game, but
So far, I'm impressed. We used a lot of the things, a lot of the conversations we've had from the original game. We haven't really got to any of the new stuff yet, but the little new stuff we've seen so far, the cupcake, Monica's change in profile, and that little day-night cycle thing was really cool. I think I'm going to end this episode here. I'm hoping you all are enjoying this. I am. It's good to be back in Doki Doki Literature Club. I wonder how horrible things are going to be. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.